If these rumors about Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones are real, we might be looking at a major shakeup in their long, drama-filled relationship. So word on the street is Jim allegedly got a baby on the way, but not with Chrissy. Yep, you heard that right. And apparently, this lil bombshell has caused a whole lot of mess between them. The tea is that Jim's got a child with someone else, and trust me, Chrissy ain't having it. Sis is fuming, and rumor has it she even ended things with Jim and kicked him out of her house for good. Now, we all know their relationship has been up and down for years. Just think back to all the drama on Love and Hip Hop New York. Folks have been watching them for years, and let's not forget, they still haven't made it down the aisle. But if this latest mess is true, it might be the final straw that breaks the camel's back. Permanent breakup vibes, y'all. Of course, like with all gossip, the truth is still murky, but one thing's for sure. People are talking because things between Chrissy and Jim are looking real messy right now. Mama Jones is not here for the foolishness, and she made sure the world knows she's still not vibing with Chrissy Lampkin. During a super spicy interview on People TV's Reality Check, Mama Jones went all the way in. When they asked her about Chrissy, she didn't sugarcoat a thing. We ain't on no terms, ain't nothing to talk about. Who, baby? The shade was heavy, and you know this just shows how deep the drama really goes. And don't forget, Mama Jones showed up on Love and Hip Hop New York recently, but did that help patch things up? Not one bit. Chrissy didn't hesitate to spill the tea, admitting she has no relationship with her future mother-in-law. She said she's been keeping her distance because Mama Jones ain't exactly a fan. Honey, this family drama is piping hot. Now let's talk about the real tea. Chrissy and Jim Jones, Harlem's Dipset legend, have been doing this on and off love shuffle for 16 years. They've been engaged for almost a decade, but sis is out here saying she's good with where things stand. Marriage, that's not even on her list anymore. But you know Mama Jones wasn't about to let Chrissy have the final say. She clapped back quickly, claiming Chrissy's content talk is just not adding up. Baby, this family's saga is like a never-ending soap opera, and you know we haven't seen the last of it. Now y'all know Mama Jones doesn't hold her tongue for nobody. She laid it all out, crystal clear. As a mother, I've got certain expectations. And let's just say, she's not feeling Chrissy's vibe since she got with the family, calling out some straight-up disrespect. Mama Jones even said, "I don't tolerate foolishness, and if that ain't a read, I don't know what is." But here's where it gets real juicy. Mama Jones loves her son so much that she'll deal with whoever he's with, but she couldn't resist throwing in a little shade saying, "I know that's who he loves for now." Phew! And since Jim and Chrissy don't have kids yet, that just adds another layer to this messy situation. Jim's still talking about wanting to walk down the aisle, but Chrissy? Sis is over it. This family tea is overflowing, and we're all here for it. Mama Jones came through with just enough shade to let folks know she ain't all in on this wedding either. She didn't completely drag Chrissy, but she made it clear they just ain't ready. Point blank, no sugarcoating. Meanwhile, Chrissy is out here on Love and Hip Hop, and sis came back with a bang after almost 7 years. She spilled that the producers were practically begging for her return. They wanted to bring back the essence of the show, she said, throwing a little humble brag our way. And as for her and Jim, Chrissy claims they're in a good place, saying, "I thought marriage was the next step, but it's not for everybody. We're good." Whew, the saga continues, and we are here for it. Chrissy and Jim's love story? Baby, it's been a roller coaster with no end in sight. Since 2004, they've been on this wild ride, full of ups, downs, and all kinds of drama. Chrissy's never been shy about putting it all out there either. Back in 2016, she spilled the tea on why they stayed engaged for so long, saying, "Why rush into marriage if one of us ain't really ready? I'm not about to end up in a divorce just to say we did it." Sis moves at her own pace, and she's been clear. She's in this because she made that decision. Their love has been front and center on Love and Hip Hop, and with season 10 dropping on December 16th, you already know they're coming in hot. One of the most unforgettable moments was when Chrissy packed her bags and dipped to Miami, leaving Jim behind in New York. Whew, that move had everybody talking. It was a major wake-up call for Jim, and in classic Jim Jones fashion, he flew to Miami and proposed, trying to fix what folks were calling a commitment problem. But even after that grand gesture, they still didn't tie the knot, leaving fans scratching their heads wondering what's really going on. Over the years, we've seen glimpses of their love, but Chrissy has dropped hints that there's a lot more happening behind the scenes. She's kept some things close to the chest, but one thing's for sure, she's always had Jim's back, no matter what the streets were saying. Despite all the rumors, Chrissy's loyalty to Jim is unshakable, and her push to get engaged and stay in the public eye proves that she's all in, whether people like it or not. But hold up, if you've been following Chrissy's social media, it's looking like sis might finally be over it. Fans are buzzing, thinking she could be ready to move on, and it seems like all those unresolved issues are finally weighing her down. In a more recent interview, Chrissy kept it real, saying, "My love life is steady, no new disappointments because I'm not setting new expectations." Phew. Now if that doesn't sound like someone who's done with all the back and forth, I don't know what does. She admitted that while things are comfortable, it's not really her main focus anymore. And for fans waiting on that wedding, that's a big red flag. There's a hint of resignation in Chrissy's tone, like she's accepted that marriage might not be how this love story ends. And let's be real, Chrissy and Jim's relationship has never been simple. It's always been a mix of hidden struggles and public declarations of love, a balancing act that's played out in the spotlight. No matter what happens next, one thing is crystal clear. Chrissy is done playing the background. She's focusing on her happiness now and navigating this messy chapter with her head held high. But the big question still hangs in the air. Is Jim gonna step up and meet her halfway, or is this engagement just gonna keep dragging along with no wedding in sight? Fans are buzzing with speculation, wondering why these two still haven't walked down the aisle. And honestly, with Chrissy putting her own growth first, this could be the start of a whole new era for her, whether Jim's in it or not. Oh, and the tea just keeps pouring. Explanations for Chrissy and Jim's situation are flying all over the place. From personal conflicts to commitment issues, and the mystery of their future just keeps the gossip mill churning. And then bam, Chrissy dropped that cryptic post on Instagram. "You and I both know you will never ever find someone like me. Still, good luck with your attempts. I'll replace you by tomorrow." Whew, talk about a mic drop. Fans lost their minds. And while Chrissy didn't name names, everyone's side-eyeing Jim, wondering if there's more trouble in paradise. But sis, it's looking like Chrissy's finally had enough of this never-ending engagement saga. That cryptic message she dropped? Whew, that's the kind of post that gets everyone talking. And it sure sounds like she's ready to move on, but you know what? Sometimes love just doesn't go the way we think it should. And after all these years, maybe a wedding just ain't in the cards for her and Jim, and that's totally fine. The real tea is that finding peace, whether together or apart, is the only thing that matters in the end. As Chrissy and Jim step into this next phase of their roller coaster love story, you best believe the world is on standby, waiting to see what they're gonna do next. Are they finally gonna lock it down, or are we about to witness the end of this chapter? Either way, fans are just hoping that both of them find their happiness, whatever that looks like. Let's be real, this love story has been a wild ride, full of drama and emotion, and the way it's unfolding keeps everyone on the edge of their seats. Every time these two step out or drop a little hint, it's like a new page turns in their love story. Sometimes they're holding it together, sometimes things seem to be falling apart. And girl, let's not even get started on the family drama with Mama Jones. She's been throwing shade for years, and that tension between Chrissy and her future mother-in-law, it's been a mess. Family dynamics are no joke, and Mama Jones's opinions have definitely stirred the pot in this relationship. Chrissy and Jim have been dealing with this for years, and that drama adds so many layers to their already complicated love story. But through all the ups and downs, Chrissy and Jim have grown, together and individually. It's not just about love anymore. It's about figuring out how to communicate, how to respect each other, and how to navigate what they both really want out of life. And that's not easy with all the pressure from society, their family, and the fans. Everybody seems to think that marriage is the ultimate goal, but Chrissy and Jim are rewriting the whole script, honey. They're showing us that sometimes the path we're on doesn't always lead to the altar, and that's okay. They're taking their time, moving at their own pace, despite all the outside noise. This whole engagement, it's a sign that modern love isn't always about following tradition. Sometimes those big milestones, like marriage, don't match where you are emotionally, and that's cool. Jim and Chrissy's relationship is proof that commitment can look different for everyone. They've stayed committed in their own way, even if it doesn't fit the typical happily ever after mold. In a world that loves to set expectations and put people in boxes, the real strength of Jim and Chrissy's relationship might be in their ability to grow, adapt, and stick by each other no matter what. And let's be real, the public is eating it up. People are hooked, waiting for the next update, the next twist, the next tea spill. Their journey is so relatable because it hits on the things we all deal with. Love, commitment, personal growth. That's why we can't look away. As Chrissy and Jim continue to write their own story, they're showing us that relationships aren't just about checking off milestones or fitting into some societal box. It's about the journey, the lessons, and how you evolve along the way. As they step into this new chapter, whether it leads to marriage or not, We can only hope they find peace, clarity, and happiness. And whatever they decide, what matters most is that they're chasing their joy. Love is never a straight line, boo. And the most important lesson Jim and Chrissy are teaching us is that being true to yourself is what matters most when it comes to navigating the twists and turns of partnership. Whether they stay engaged forever or say, I do, one thing's for sure, they're doing love on their terms, and that's the real win.